Hello everyone and welcome to the second part of my sandal and assembling a 3D printing VAD. As you can see, what I'm doing now is washing all the pieces with warm water. I start with the heavy ones with the lower torso because those are the ones that I'm going to put later on first on a jar. So as you can see now, what I'm going to do is put cold water in a jar. It needs to be transparent right away, and it's better if it's glass, because what we're going to do is we're going to recure those pieces. Later on I will explain you a little bit how I recure them, but basically that's it. I'm going to put all of them based on how heavy the pieces are up to the top of the water, so every piece is completely submerged. We want as much resin dust as possible to be completely washed off the pieces, so that's why we need to scrub really good and try to make the piece as clean as possible. So basically what you do to recure the pieces is use any kind of UV light. Maybe you have something for nails, or as I do, have a machine for curing pieces. All what you can do is put them on the sun, just keeping an eye that the pieces don't burn or don't toast. Lighter colors takes less time, darker colors take more time. Just keep an eye and then let the pieces dry. Once you're done with that, what you want to do is get a cloth, a microfiber cloth, and start rubbing all the pieces just so any remaining resin dust is completely gone and you get all the pieces completely matte, completely even. Just try to use a bit of force in case some parts doesn't completely wipe up. As you can see, at the same time that I'm doing that, I'm trying to put all the pieces where they're going to be strong later, how I'm going to have to hot glue them later, just so my work is easier later on. Do not worry too much how they're going to be positioned. I will leave a video of how everything goes, just so you can pause and see how pieces go, what's right, what's wrong, and everything in between. As you can see, the bigger part of the knee joint is the one that connects with the lower part of the leg. In reality, it's really easy to put on. You just need to see how the curve goes, where it's more up and where it's more down, in order to know how you're going to put them. Also, don't worry too much if the knee joint doesn't connect extremely well with the rest of the leg. Once you put hot glue, they're going to fit as a glove, so really don't stress about that. And now we're going to do the same thing to the head cap. And as for the hands and the ears and the head, I'm going to leave them to the last thing to do, because I still have to do some work to them in order to get them as good as possible. Now it's stringing and hot gluing time. As you can see, these are the two strings that I provide, the two elastics. You just need to tie a knot at the very end. Don't leave too many centimeters out, because if not, you're not going to have enough elastics. Basically what I'm saying is that I send the exact length that you need for the elastic. As you can see, the hooks is something new that I'm sending with the dolls. You just need to use some pliers and make the hook a little bit smaller, as you can see in the video. So there's some kind of misconception about 3D VJDs needing hot glue to be able to pose, and that's not exactly why you have to hot glue a 3D printed dolls. So basically, the resin that it's used for these 3D prints creates some kind of friction when it touches between each other and creates resin dust. So in order to cancel that situation, we need to completely fill the hole with a really thin layer of hot glue all the way. And then once that's done, the assembling process is exactly the same as the ones for any other VJD. As I mentioned in the previous video, there's some colors that will need you to use a little bit of a magic eraser later on to completely get a really smooth finish without you being able to see any kind of sanding line. So you can see me here just doing a quick buff to every piece just to make sure that all of them look as good as possible. So as you can see, I do not only hit the inside, I try to pass the stream of the hot glue gun to the outside a little bit too, just so each piece has also some kind of layer, a really thin layer, in case you post it all too much or anything like that, just to make sure, just to make sure that everything looks as good as possible. Can you please shut the fuck up? Bye now, Pablo. And just like that, you have your whole doll strung. But this is unfortunately not the end. We still have some steps to do. So we're going to get into the hands and the head. So as you can see, and this is the first time that I do this, with a Dremel I try to smooth out as many support marks as possible, as good as I can. This is a really hard work to do. This is really manual, this is really amateur, so we just want to do as best as we can in order to get the best result possible. It's not going to be perfect. We're not Fairyland, we're not Hydercasting. We are just a group of people that wants to DIY their own doll. Seeing this back now, I realized I should have done this step before even sanding the hands. It would have made the work way easier, but you learn every day, and every doll that I make, I learn something new. So since in this case I'm sanding an Anna doll, I have to sand a little bit of the teeth. I just want to take into the external part of the teeth, the corners, the insides of the teeth and everything. We don't want to touch the actual teeth, we just want to go past that part. Just enough so the teeth can be easily put on and don't create any kind of friction that can possibly lead into some breakage or us not being able to remove the teeth afterwards in an easy way, and we have to put some kind of metal inside the mouth and we can ruin the face up. We want to be able to later on remove that piece with tweezers in a really easy way. We are finally in the last part of the head and the hands. We are going to buff everything with a magic eraser, just as we did before, to remove any kind of dust that maybe could be in between fingers or whatever, and we are going to do it to the head, to the hands and the ears. And now of course we are going to use our cloth for the head, the hands and the ears, and we're also going to do the hot glue for the head because I forgot previously basically. Now when it comes to gluing the magnets, I like to first put some super glue and then stack both of the magnets in one and put them over, just so I don't get it confused later on when I put the other piece. And once that's done, I put the head cap and I just twist it a little bit just so I can get the other two magnets inside and I can just push them a little bit to put it into place. As for the hands, I stuck 2 big magnets and one of the small magnets that we're going to use to glue the hand. I put some super glue, I stuck the 3 magnets into one of the arms, and then I just put the hands over, and I keep doing that with all the different hands. That way I don't get the magnets confused, and I'm making sure that I'm gluing everything correctly. As for the ears, I'm just going to glue the magnet that we previously put in the middle of the hands. We don't need to put it in any specific order since the other magnet is going to be under the wig cap. So that's it, that's the tutorial. I really hope all of you learned something from this. At the end of the day, this is just the way I like to do things, and as you can see, this is the result I end up getting. Everyone is going to have a different way to sand stuff, everyone is going to have a different way to assemble stuff. This is just how I get the best results as for now. Fortunately, I learned something new with every doll, you know. Just for this video, I used my Dremel to remove some support marks, so who knows what I'm going to learn with the next doll. I'm telling this because I think we all should be more compassionate with ourselves and don't be so harsh, because I know personally I am, and at the end of the day I need to understand that I will probably never get to the Fairyland level. I will probably never be able to do and to get the same finish as a normal resin company does, you know. So yeah, basically I hope you learned something from this, or if not, I hope you were able to see the amount of work that we as artists put into any of our dolls. I cannot speak for everyone, I just can speak for myself, and as you can see, this is the level of work I like to do. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and I hope it really helps you with any of your DIY dolls that you may get in the future. You know, there's many artists that do this kind of dolls, just like my friend Rosie from Teeny Tinkers. Anyways, see you in the next video. If you have any suggestions or any questions, you can leave them on the comments, or you can even go to my Instagram and DM me. I love to get in touch with everyone that sees me or even comments me or whatever. That's the more enjoyable part for me, at least in the hobby. So yeah, bye!